There's a popular expression which says, perception is reality. And based on your perception and the lens that you're seeing life through, a pro and a con may differ from one person to another. But in my opinion, these are the 5 worst things about Gainesville. Today I'm stepping out of my normal character and I'm talking about the 5 worst things about Gainesville. I'm a really optimistic person, so I'll admit this video is a challenge for me, but I really tried to dig in and figure out what are the things that I hate about living here. And the first thing, property taxes. Being part of a university town comes with its perks, but with the University of Florida, they have a massive campus. They pay no property taxes. We as the citizens get to absorb that in Alachua County. So our taxes for property are super high. As an example, I sold 5 acres with a house outside of the county earlier this year. For that 5 acres outside of Alachua County, my customers pay just over $900 a year for property taxes. Being within the county, I have a 1/4 of an acre and we pay $3,000 a year. I'm an alum, so I'm always gonna say go Gators, but every time I see them putting up a new building, a little part of me dies. I came to Gainesville as a student. Now I am a working professional, so I've been on both sides of the college life of Gainesville. And even when I was in school, I had this complaint. Game day traffic is bananas in this town. As a professional now with children and I want to do something on a weekend, I love when it's an away game, because when it's a home game, there's a whole triangle of Gainesville I won't even go near when it's time for a game. And the infrastructure and the roads in Gainesville, I think, leave a lot to be desired. There's a lot of deferred maintenance, and the major roads that take somebody north-south or east-west really aren't developed enough or wide enough. And I know there's a lot of work being done to have some other cross streets going through, but for now, traffic can definitely be an issue. Not only on game day, but just the fact that there's not enough major roads and they're not big enough for the growing population of our town. And without trying to sound too much like the stereotypical old crabby guy who says, "Get off my lawn!" Get off my lawn. I will say another kind of tough thing about Gainesville is the college and the college students. Now, this really depends on where in town you live. If you're close to the university, it's pretty awesome. You can be in the heart of Gainesville, you can walk to Gator events, but you better be prepared to see beer cans in your lawn or maybe have some really noisy neighbors. And I know there's a really big struggle in the city between college housing and the fact that it's a college town versus the people who just want a nice neighborhood in the heart of the city to be preserved. The city actually passed an ordinance where you can't have more than 4 people who are unrelated in a house. And the reason for that was people who lived in neighborhoods didn't want a 5-bedroom house being rented to college students. It's an ebb and a flow, and as a college student, I totally understand, but as a resident and a grown-up, I get that too. So just know if you're coming to Gainesville, if you want to be in the heart of it, you're going to be in the heart of the college lifestyle too. And number 4 would be location, location, location. Gainesville is located in the heart of North Central Florida, and it is an easy commute in any of the 4 directions. However, relative to a lot of other cities in Florida, the beach is kind of far. People ask me all the time, "Oh, do you go to the beach all the time?" The answer is no, because it's an hour and a half to 2 hours away. Where I grew up in South Florida, the beach was 5 minutes away. So if you're coming to Gainesville, Florida thinking that you're gonna be living the beach life, just know that you can. It's just gonna take a whole day and a little bit more planning if you wanna spend your day out in the sun on the sand. And for this last one, I honestly am gonna predict that I'm gonna have most people agreeing with me, because if you utter the letters GRU in this town, you're gonna get a very visceral reaction. If you go to bestplaces.net, you can see that our average cost of living is below the national average. However, in the category of utilities, it's above the national average. Utilities here are very expensive, and there's a lot of controversy behind the prices that GRU offers. So if you are coming to Gainesville, a lot of times in real estate, it can be a major perk if you're outside of their grid and can still be in Gainesville, but with a different utility provider. And I'm a classic example of that. My neighborhood is on GRU, and the neighborhood that's literally across the street is with Clay Electric. So it's not a difference of location, but they probably pay half to a third of what we pay for our same utilities. Today was stepping a little bit outside of my comfort zone because I really despise being pessimistic, but I feel it's important to give you the actual facts and what's happening in our area. If you're looking for more Gainesville information, I have a great video about the top 10 reasons why you should move here. So don't let these 5 deter you. It's the real deal, but there's still a lot of awesome stuff we have to offer. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.